Hi, I'm Brian. If you're a front-end developer, you've probably heard a lot about Svelte lately. Maybe you're even using it already. Well, today I want to show you how you can use Svelte and LaunchDarkly together. The good news is, because Svelte is just JavaScript, you don't have to do anything special or load any special framework SDK. Let's take a look. We'll be working in Code Sandbox for this example. It provides a Svelte template that we can use to get started. The template has just a few files. For this example, we'll work entirely in the app.svelte component. The app is just a simple example that has a button that increments as you click it. The first thing we need to do is add a dependency for the LaunchDarkly JavaScript SDK. All we need to do is search for LaunchDarkly and then click the Add Dependency button. Next, we need to import the SDK into our project and use it. The good news is that since Svelte is just JavaScript, we can use the SDK documentation as our guide. So let's start by copying the ES 2015 import statement and paste it into our file. The next step is to initialize the SDK client. Scroll down in the docs and let's click the copy button to grab the client initialization code. We're going to just paste that code into the editor. If you're like me, you'll want to fix the tabbing as you go along. I'm also going to replace the user key with just anonymous since we aren't doing any client targeting. Later on, I'll want to potentially go back and update this application to pass user details in the user key so I can then target flag changes to specific users and groups. In order to initialize the client-side JavaScript SDK, we need our LaunchDarkly client-side ID. To get that, jump into the LaunchDarkly dashboard and click Command or Control K, and then click copy the SDK key for the current environment, and finally choose the client-side ID. Once we have that, we can just paste it into the application and our SDK should initialize successfully. Now that the SDK client is initializing properly, we can start retrieving flag values from it. We're going to grab the value of a flag called show button that, surprise, determines whether the button on the page shows or not. Let's declare a variable that will hold the flag value for us. And then we're going to create a setter to set the flag value. We'll see why that is later on, but for now, let's create a function named setShowButton that just sets the variable with the passed value. Our showButton value will be populated with the value of a Boolean flag called showButton that you can see here on my dashboard. Go ahead and copy the code from the docs. What we want is a snippet for getting a flag value when the client returns a ready event. Let's paste the code we copied in here, fix the formatting just a bit. Instead of setting a variable, we'll pass the result to the setter function we created. Finally, let's set the flag name to showButton. Just to make sure everything is working properly, I'll console log the value of showButton here. As you can see, it's coming back false, which is correct as we haven't turned the targeting on yet. Now let's actually use the flag in our Svelte code by adding an if statement around the button so that if the flag is false, it won't appear, and if it's true, it will. Okay, so the button disappeared, as it should have since the flag is false. Let's turn targeting on so that the value is true and the button should appear. As you may notice, it isn't appearing. We'll have to refresh to get the flag value again and see the button appear properly. The reason for this is because we haven't subscribed to receive flag changes within our app yet. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and copy the code for subscribing to flag changes from the docs. We want the version that subscribes to a specific flag. Paste it in, and let's remove the inline function. Instead, we'll call our setter function again. Finally, we need to make sure that we're listening for the change only on our specific show button flag. Now everything's completely wired up. If we go back into LaunchDarkly dashboard and turn the flag off, we'll see it disappear. Yep, it did, without refreshing. Just to make sure, let's go back in again and turn the flag back on, and we see that the button reappeared just as we expected. As you can see, integrating LaunchDarkly and Svelte is pretty easy. It's just JavaScript after all. But if you are using SvelteKit, there are a couple of things you'll want to consider. You can check out this project under LaunchDarkly Labs, the LaunchDarkly Svelte Basics, that will give you a more complete project using SvelteKit with LaunchDarkly. Thanks for listening.